Hey, what's up, guys? Zen here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. I know I've been a little out of the loop, but I am back. So today I wanted to do a quick deep dive into the cost of living in Bali. So prior to 2020, it was actually extremely cheap. Like, props to everyone who made it here before 2020. um, it was very cheap to live here. So after the pandemic, everyone was kind of trying to make up for the loss of income that happened because Bali depends on tourism, mainly to boost their economy. So right now in 2023, obviously it's still a lot cheaper to live here than it is to live in a big city like Los Angeles, New York, pretty much anywhere in the US, to be honest. But it's not as cheap as it used to be. With that said, let's get into the different accommodations that exist within Bali. So you can get a room that has like a nice room and a bathroom. That can start anywhere. You can find something as cheap as $300. So I have a friend paying $300 for her room and her bathroom, just like her, kind of like they call it guest house, or they call it what do they call it? Homestays. Yeah, they call it homestays. So homestays are really cheap to get into, but these are the drawbacks. Obviously, you don't have a kitchen. Sometimes they come with a mini fridge, and then sometimes there is a shared kitchen. So if you're down with that, if you're down to share a kitchen, who knows what that kitchen looks like? A lot of these places. So the range for like a homestay or a guest house can start anywhere from like $300, and that can go up to like $800 depending on how nice the place is. And then from there, you can find like a 1-bedroom apartment. You can find, sometimes depending on the area, a loft. And then you can also find a villa that's 1 bedroom. But now you're talking about more money. So when you are looking for a place that also has a kitchen nowadays, probably gonna start somewhere from like 800, up to, like, for a 1 bedroom. Some places will ask you for as much as $1,600. Oh man, depending on the place. So some of these spots are really outrageous. You really have to like scour the internet, look at all the sites, look at Facebook. Airbnb is probably the most expensive option of all of them. And then if you want something like a 2 bedroom, and then ironically, the 2 bedrooms are cheaper if you have the dough to spend. It's cheaper to get into a 2 bedroom than it is to get into a 1 bedroom, if you have the money. So I want to say not cheaper, but you get more bang for your buck, right? So if you get a 2 bedroom, that could be like, I want to say like starting at like $1,300 and more. But that could be like a villa. So that could be a 2 bedroom villa, two bathroom, kitchen, living area space, pool, and all the bells and whistles. Most of these places come with cleaning service as it is. But if you're willing to spend like up until like, $1,500, $1,600, and I know I mentioned a 1 bedroom is like $1,600 as well, but some of these places are just like really trying it. But you can find places that are cheaper. Even $2,000 can get you like a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and a pool and all of that situation. So yes, it's cheaper to live in Bali. You get more for your money. By living in Bali, Indonesia, you're probably saving like $1,000 on what you would spend in like the US, and you're getting a pool, you're getting maid service, possibly getting 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. You can make one of the bedrooms into like a guest bedroom or office. And then if you have even more dough to spend, you can get a 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, a huge monstrosity of a house. You can get a lot for $3,000. And I was paying almost $3,000 for my 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Bali Village. So if I took that, which obviously I moved to Bali to lower my cost of living, not keep it the same. So for like 3 grand or more, you can get a lot in Bali, Indonesia. So with all that said, yes, it's cheaper to live in Bali, but depending on what your budget is and how you want to keep your expenses, how low you want to keep your expenses, you're going to have to kind of be a little bit flexible. You may not have a kitchen, you may not have as big of a space as you want to have. You may not live in the area you want to live in. I would say for areas that are most expensive, and I'll put this down in my notes because, so you guys can reference. Canggu is probably one of the most expensive places to live in Bali because it's like a surfer town. It's really young and hip. It's kind of like living in like Santa Monica or Venice a little bit. Doesn't look like Santa Monica or Venice, but the feel of it, like the young energy, things being super accessible. From there, like Denpasar, which is by the airport, you can get a lot for your money in Denpasar, but it's a really busy, crazy area. It's kind of living downtown LA. And then there's Jimbaran. Jimbaran's cheaper. There's Kuta. And then probably the cheapest places that you can choose to live is like Ubud or different up north cities that are situated in the mountains, basically. Ubud is a really popular destination for a lot of people. So if you want to live in Ubud, that would probably be like your most affordable option right now in 2023 and moving forward, probably. But yeah, Bali has so many different cities, but Canggu is like one of the most popular. Then there's Jimbaran, which is lower south. I mentioned Kuta. There's also Seminyak. Seminyak is also like maybe 20-30 minutes away from Canggu. That city has a lot more affordable options as well. So yeah, I hope that explained a lot. If not, drop some questions in the comment section and I would be happy to answer your questions. Reach out directly. I'll be happy to answer your questions. I've only been in Bali for 2 months and I've learned a lot because I moved 4 times in the last, really I moved 4 times in a month, to be honest. In the last month, I've been stable. Thank God. Do have to move again in 3 weeks, but with all this information that I've acquired, it's going to be a little bit more easier to make that next move and not feel frantic and confused. I know my options are, and I just have to be clear on how I want to move forward and where I want to live. And mostly, last thing I'll share, so you can either rent like daily, which you don't want to rent daily, obviously, if you're moving to the country. Monthly is like the best option because if you don't like the place, you can like get out of there. There's no real contract to sign. A lot of these places may ask you for a few months up front to secure that the rental is going to be occupied for a number of time and they don't have to search for their next tenant. You can also, the cheapest way to get a place in Bali is to get a yearly rental. So if it's a really dope spot and you have the money to drop, then I recommend getting a yearly rental. I also recommend doing a lot of research before you actually land in this country, because I wish I would have done more research prior to getting here. I was told to kind of just show up and like look around. Yeah, you want to see what you're gonna move into first, but I think the best bet, like if you have a friend, if I'm friends with anyone who's watching this video and you want to like get a spot, it's best to just like have that person in Bali look at the spot for you and secure the spot. I think that's like the best option for Bali, Indonesia. Or if the spot is really nice, you can rent it by the month and then maybe you can negotiate like, hey, I might be interested in a yearly rental. Let me just first land in the country and see what this place looks like first. But if you lock in a yearly rental with the property owner, you'll get a huge discount. But yeah, that was pretty much all I had to share. And yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section and let me know what else you guys want to hear about. I'll be sharing more about my experience in Bali and more about my journey, but I also wanted to just drop some logistics and some fun facts on what it's like to rent a place in Bali. All right, well, peace. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Later.